Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brother Conrado B. Morgan, District Representative, 3rd District of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I bring you greetings on behalf of Dr. David Marion, our 41st Grand Bachelors of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I also bring you greetings on behalf of the 43 chapters and 2,010 brothers in Washington, D.C. and Virginia, the birthplace of Omega. I am from Portsmouth, Virginia, just a few miles from where the slaves were brought into the United States. I've also had an affinity for history, and especially Juneteenth. I was the history chairman for the 6th District and was the vice chairman of the International History Committee for the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. My last job in the United States Army was deputy commander for the United States Army Center of Military History in Washington, D.C. Let's discuss Juneteenth. Juneteenth, also known as a Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, and Emancipation Day. It is a holiday celebrating the emancipation of those who have been enslaved in the United States. Today's date, Saturday, June 19, 2021, we celebrate. Observance, African American history, culture, and progress. Significance, emancipation of remaining enslaved African Americans in the Confederacy. Observed by Americans, especially African Americans, in 47 states in the United States. Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of the slavery in the United States, dating back to 1865. It was on June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, landed at Galveston, Texas, with news that the war has ended and that the enslaved were now free. Note, this was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which had become official January 1st, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation had little impact on the Texans due to the minimum number of Union troops to enforce the new executive order. However, with the surrender of General Lee in April 1865 and the arrival of General Granger's regiment, the forces were finally strong enough to influence and overcome the resistance. Later attempts to explain this 2.5-year delay in the receipt of this important news have yielded several versions that have been handed down through the years. Often told is the story of a messenger who was murdered on his way to Texas with the news of freedom. Another is that the news was deliberately withheld by the enslavers to maintain the labor force on the plantation. And still another is that the federal troops actually waited till the slave owners to reap the benefits of one last cotton harvest before going to Texas to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. All of which, or none of these versions, could be true. Certainly for some, President Lincoln's authority over the rebellious states was in question. Whatever the reasons, conditions in Texas remain status quo, well beyond what was statutory. God bless each one of you. Thanks for attending this Juneteenth celebration. Now let's celebrate Juneteenth. God bless.